Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcore Guys, bringing my guide for Devil May Cry 4 on Dante Must Die difficulty. Today we're doing Mission 18 entitled The Destroyer. This time we finally made it to confronting the Savior. I don't know why I'm talking in such a weird way. I mean, it's already the beginning of the video. I'm already being weird. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, this fight is not necessarily hard, as it is just kind of tedious and long, and that's really about it. The Savior has always been relatively pretty simple, and for the most part, kind of straightforward. But I'll show you. I mean, there's like 3 phases to this. I'll show you, obviously, what I'm going to do, and then explain each different thing I'm trying to do. Like right here, for example, is I'm trying to get the cannon to launch, which took a while. Don't worry about the guard armor guys, or the armored up enemies. Don't worry about them. Don't mess with them, because there's no point. Just go straight for the Savior and shoot him down. And this is where it gets kind of annoying, is because depending on which direction you go, you'll have to sometimes go back, and that will take up time from you being able to shoot him down. And I think this was the playthrough where, because I did this chapter multiple times to, try to get it down the best I could. I think this was the same chapter, or the same video that I think I struggled to getting the left shoulder, I think. Well, either way, you have plenty of time to get like a couple of shots in, and shotgun works wonders. You can also jump in the air, do the Swordmaster, Yamato attack, that sort of thing. And then, whenever the Savior's about to do an attack that, well, not in Phase 1, but mostly in the later phases, but for Phase 1, you just mainly want to get to the turret as fast as you can. There's always, I think one on the left side. There's, one on the right side-ish. So let's go from there. And then, luckily, the laser itself can destroy and completely wipe out the armor statue guys. So that helps out a ton. And I think that he can also destroy them, too. And, by the way, these little electric balls, if you're not familiar with the game, if you shoot them, preferably using Ebony and Ivory, which, use that at a range, mainly. Like, whenever you're having to shoot him in, spots that you can't reach, just use Ebony and Ivory for that. And then, for the electrical ball attack things that he does, that will drop DT, or white orbs, so that way you can get your double trigger going. But now we're finally into basically, essentially, kind of Phase 2-esque. Because I don't think it's, technically fully Phase 2. I think it is, actually. What am I talking about? Yeah, so, the idea is, that I completely forgot about, is whenever you knock him down with a laser, the cannonballs I think just knocks him straight down into this, so that you can go around and destroy a lot of the orbs. But when you're using the laser cannon, it tends to knock him down on his hands, and that's when you want to attack the hand itself, or you can always hop on it and attack it that way. But yeah, here's the part where I kind of screw up a little bit. Because I'm trying to think to myself, how the hell am I supposed to get over there to the other shoulder? Because clearly there's just no... Well, that part I kind of messed up a little bit, obviously. But there just didn't seem like there was any spot where I could actually jump to that would make sense. But weirdly enough, this is the spot that ends up actually giving me access to being able to shoot the shoulder. And with pistols, of course. Another thing that's kind of annoying, but it's not really that bad, is just having a bunch of trappers just sticking around. So, obviously watch out for them. And this is just me kind of goofing off, and like I said, I completely messed up. And I apologize for that, but I was struggling to try to figure out, again, how I'm supposed to get to the other shoulder. But where I was at was pretty much the prime place to hit it. So I found that. Actually, I forgot there's another laser thing here too. But every time he goes for an attack, he'll just typically do that. I think I took damage there too. But yeah, whenever he's down and out, just start hitting his hand a bit. Depending on how much damage you've done or what phase you're in, I believe, will determine whether or not he's going to try to knock you off. And by the way, these orbs do kind of tend to follow you around, so... And I got extremely lucky with that. Another thing, too, is I do have Trickster on, so that I can give myself a nice dodge whenever it comes around. And whenever he pops in the orb, the electric orb thingies, just go straight for shooting them down. And by the way, you can... well, I use Trickster, but then after he slams the ground with his hand is when you kind of want to attack it. At least, if you're not at a laser, then you can attack the hand, even though it does... or it's not affected by the laser shot, so you still can do that. And this is me, I think, finally figuring out what a good spot was. Hopefully. Or at least I had the idea of it. So just kind of like poking around over here. But yeah, this is, I believe, the spot that they probably most likely want you to use. And I'm just charging up the Ebony Ivory for just a little bit, you know, just to get some more damage going. Something like that. And this is, I guess you could say, technically phase 3. I guess there's 4 phases, if anything. So the giant laser, just keep running across. Get as far away as you can. That sort of thing. Just keep going until you get to this spot where you get a cutscene. I think you have to travel to that one. I don't think it just happens organically. I think you have to get there yourself for that to work. And now we're finally in the part of the game where we get to finally kill the bastard. So this is going to take a bit of explaining. It's kind of random what he's going to do for the most part, as far as I'm aware. What you're trying to get him to do is you're trying to get him to either just attack the ground without breaking it with his fist or whatever, or at the very least, the best option is this one, where you kind of want him to slowly pan up and then try to attack you, and then just go for a couple of damaging moves, that sort of thing. And every time that he does that, he will basically destroy the platform, so just go ahead and take your leave when you get the chance. It's hard to attack the elbow when he does his right elbow. It's kind of hard to attack that, but if you don't aim and you just go for, or if you just dodge, like, you know, to the left-ish, that I did, you should be able to at least get a stinger off if you're on the left side. But if you're on the right side of the elbow, it's kind of hard to do without aiming. Because if you aim, you're just going to aim right at the orb in the middle of his chest. So it's just going to be one of those things we have to be kind of quick about and just do a few basic attacks just to do any sort of damage. And then whenever you get a chance to just hit him at all, take it, is what I suggest. And then, of course, just, you know, keep DT builds up, which is nice because the game does just tend to kind of give you them anyway. And yeah, like I said before, it's just nothing but tedium, and I can't really guide well because there's nothing really to talk about besides just do this and just do this. Because for the most part, it's just a puzzle boss. You know, I mean, for what it's worth, it basically is just a glorified puzzle boss, which can be attacked and does attack you, but you know, luckily we have things like this that we can do. The idea is to essentially just keep breaking these things. By the way, the Lucifer pin strike maneuver, the R1 forward triangle move, is pretty damn good. I'm pretty sure most likely Gilgamesh's uppercut, which I forgot what the name of, is probably pretty good for that too right there. Because you have plenty of time to do some good damage. And then also for the DT orb, you know, shock orb thingies, you don't have to aim at them. You can just shoot them with, you know, without aiming to do it. Sorry, my brain is just not, it's not cooperating right now, I guess. I have actually gotten all the gameplay recorded for the entire game, so, and like I said, this part's just extremely tedious, and it's just pretty much the same thing for the most part the entire time. And I typically try to DT before he slams too, so that way I can either just A, tank the hit a little bit if need be, or B, get some good damage on him when he slams on the ground and I can hit it back. And what's that squeaky noise? I think that's my chair, maybe. Oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Sorry, this doesn't happen very often, I know. I'm sorry, but I really don't know. Also, he's starting to charge up DT right now himself, but it's not going to matter much because he's still a pretty easy boss. Oh, yeah, I always, you know, I have Trickster. That's what it was. I have Trickster on so I can get the dodge off when he's about to attack. So that way I just get a free dodge. It's no big deal. And by the way, he has a tell on whenever he's going to actually slam or completely destroy a platform. And if you see what would be his right arm or his right hand, if you see his right hand glowing, then that basically is the first tell that, yeah, he's going to destroy it. And typically when he does a leg sweep, which I think you can jump over it most likely, like double jump, I'm sure. I haven't really tried out, so I'm not like 100% sure, but I would guess that you probably could. But, I just trickster through it, and usually after he does like a leg sweep, that's pretty much when he's going to go for another attack. And then trying to get him to do the exact things I want him to do is just, it's tough. And that's what I said too, is like this entire fight just feels like RNG. And I'm not really sure on the hyper specifics on whether or not, like, does it depend on the platform that I'm on? Does it depend on a timing thing or whatever? I'm not sure. But yeah, this move right here, I kind of forgot I even had it for a bit. Realized at the end, like, oh yeah, probably should use that, huh? So that takes care of that fight. Savior sucks. Always has, always will. But there you go, that's it. So anyway, as always, take care, everybody.